The nun represents new life. So let's go and have a little discussion about the nun. It means sprout to life. Think about like a little seedling that's just breaks through the ground, sprout to life or new life, just like I have in the bottom right-hand corner here. And then above here, I have some pictures of some sperm. And the Bible, that or the other thing, besides conspiracy theories, really didn't know there were no microscopes back then. So the I have a picture of sperm because the ancient some of the ancient Paleo Hebrew, how it was written, it looks like a sperm, and that to me indicates that's a really interesting way to draw it, because doesn't sperm indicate what's to come is new life? And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. So it's not pronounced nun. I just have this little funny because it's not nun, but it's nun. So it's more like a nun, and it represents humility as well. So there you can see on the top left that it looks like a sperm. It's a circle and then like a little tail. And I want to go a little bit deeper. I wasn't going to talk about this today, but I thought, no. I'm going to. I'm going to mention something here about this because it really points to new life. I'm a labor and delivery nurse. I had to study physiology, biology for my degree. And I want to kind of summarize. And someone had sent me a Facebook post this week about it was a good illustration about what the journey of the sperm, what it has to do physiological to conceive new life. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a perfect spiritual illustration of what we have to do to have new life. This to me indicates that God is, it's evidence of design. And I was like, wow. So let me explain the 4 phases that a sperm has to go through. They have to overcome 4 obstacles. So the first obstacle the sperm has to overcome is the cervix. The gate only opens for a few seconds and the sperm must push their way in for a 20-centimeter stretch. And it's like there's a gate that you have to go through. Interesting spiritually. Number 2, the immune system. There's attacks on the sperm's life. Like the fact that babies are born to me when I was learning about this in nursing school was a miracle. I said to my professor, birth isn't, no wonder they say it's a miracle, because the sperm has so many obstacles to overcome. For example, the woman's immune system and some of the vagocytes and everything are attacking that sperm. And the only sperm that survives is this fluid protective element that surrounds them. So if you're a sperm that doesn't have that good protective element around, you'll die. You'll die. You won't even make it to the phase 3. So that to me indicates we have to go through life with that protection, because there's going to be attacks on our life. Number 3, they get into the uterus there. They have to choose right or left. There's no third path. There's only one path. They go and because the ovary that's coming down the fallopian tube is only in one side. So if they choose, if the ovum is coming down the left side and they choose right, they die. But if they choose left, there's a chance of life. So I love this analogy. So there's only one path that leads to life and the other leads to death. So choose correctly. There's no third path. And it's either one or the other. And it's upstream. So when you do, it's even harder to choose the truth. It's even harder to choose the correct path, because the body of the woman is using these little cilia to move the egg down the fallopian tube. It creates a current. So the sperm literally has to swim upstream, to get to the egg. So isn't that kind of like, don't you guys feel like that in this walk, where we have to swim uphill sometimes, like we're going against the grain, going against the current? Absolutely. And And so this creates a current, and this sperm has to swim against it. And then finally, they reach the egg. And it's not about being first. Nope. Some of the sperm will hit that egg and they'll die. It's not about being first. It's about finding the correct point of entry. You could say gate to the kingdom. And that it's about finding that port of entry. I couldn't help but think of that. And then once, of course, we know what happens when the sperm meets the egg. God has ordained a flash of light once that union happens, and that's new life. This was a perfect example of this letter, Nun. Destin, and then you, Annie.
Yeah, there's just some new studies which you just touched on, which I found absolutely fascinating. It's not about being first. It actually, these new studies that are coming out, like Deneen just said, that the gate is open. In other words, it doesn't open the gate. It's more that the sperm is chosen. So the first one who gets there doesn't get in. Only the gate is open to the one who is chosen. So it's like a very neat concept.
Love it. You, Annie.
Yeah, well, the thing is also it's getting through the wall of the egg. There are multiple sperm that attack and they start to go through, but they don't go all the way through. They'll go a quarter of the way, halfway, and they're fighting, they're struggling, but they can't get through that last little bit. It's the one that keeps struggling with everything until it gets through the wall of the egg. And then the moment it touches inside the wall of the egg, it drops its tail and the egg hardens so nothing else can penetrate.
It
And
drops
so,
his, that's good. I'm glad you brought that up, you, Annie. Let me clarify. It drops its tail, the head of the sperm bursts open, releasing genetic information. And what that reaction creates a force field around the egg so no other sperm can get in. It's sealed.
but the last thing is it has and everything, and then that material enters into the egg. So the ones that are only willing to give everything and to the end and hold nothing back, those are the ones that make it. Perfect analogy.
Great analogy. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, you cut out there for a little bit, but I think we got it. If you look at this middle, so there's the ancient nun. It looks exactly like a sperm, but if you look at the middle nun here, it's actually like a fish darting through the water. So the nun is often represented as like a type of fish as well. And then here on the very far right, you have our modern day nun and the nun sophite. And we talked about nun sophites. Same thing, doesn't lose its meaning or anything like that, just written a little bit different like a capital letter. So here we have a good example. Joshua was the son of Nun. Think about this spiritually for a second. Moses passes the torch to Joshua. Joshua in Hebrew is Yehoshua, but it means salvation. And he was the son of Nun, and we know Nun is new life. So just translate that for a minute. Yehoshua, salvation, son of new life. And so you can get a whole meaning. This is the derivative. This is where Yeshua comes from, and we know that he is the son of new life.